Okay, today is December the 8th, 2017, and right now at 8:15 a.m. we have a temperature of 63 degrees in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 18%. The dew point is 21 degrees, and the barometer is way up at 30.25 inches. All right, so we've got 18 degrees, or pardon me, 18% relative humidity right here. Let's take a look at the western U.S. water vapor loop. We have 18% humidity with all this weather just banging into this high pressure that's been installed. This is a man-made, satellite-based, transmitter-generated high-pressure zone, which is completely blocking the entire west coast. And notice there's zero rain in the entire western half of the country. Zero rain. And as we look at the maps, this is really quite amazing. This is a demonstration, essentially, by these weather controllers, these terrorists that are controlling our weather, of just how effective their techniques are. This is a high pressure blockade right here, and that is not allowing any of this jet stream flow. Everything is bouncing off this wall of high pressure. We can see that right there. Let's look at the jet stream map right here. We can see we've got partial flow through Mexico. We've got flow coming out of the West Pacific right here, which is dropping down and then turning up into Canada and back down through the central U.S. Let's take a look at that again. We can see what's happening. We've got some a disruption right here in the jet stream flow, but this is the flow nonetheless. It turns up and over into Canada and down. And we've got no less than 5 low pressures in this area. Let's go ahead and take a look at the surface analysis map right now. We can see all those lows positioned out in the eastern Pacific. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 right up by Alaska right here. Every one of these is a gale force system, and they're all having to move north. All the arrows are pointing north because of this 1,046 millibar high pressure zone, which is installed right along the west coast. They show this positioned up near Montana, but as we can see from the maps here in a second, the high pressure that is parked right over the west coast is tailored very nicely to just fit right over those 3 states right on the west coast. Also, we have a dual low pressure system right here, 981 millibar. Both of these are gale force. This is a developing gale right down here. So we have 4 lows here, 2 here, and 1 here. And we have 18% relative humidity out here in the Los Angeles area. Yesterday we had unbelievably low relative humidity numbers right along the coast from La Jolla all the way up through Newport Beach, Long Beach, San Pedro, Torrance, Santa Monica, Malibu, all the way up to Point Mugu. The numbers were anywhere from 7% to 10 or 11% relative humidity right on the water, right on the coast of the Pacific Ocean. Now, those are truly amazing numbers, and all the fires that we've had here the last 4 days could have been avoided by allowing this moisture in to bring rain and cool temperatures and high humidity. All this is being prevented by the people controlling our weather, and this is about as obvious and blatant demonstration of weather manipulation we're going to see. And the fact that this is being pointed out and nothing's being done about it, when I talk about the media, television media, they're not showing this. They're not discussing this. They're not asking who's starting these fires. Nothing. It's all being accepted as normal on TV. So we've got collusion on the part of the U.S. media, and not only on the weather, but these fires. They're not even calling these fires arson. They're not asking, well, gee, who caused the Thomas fire? Who caused the all these different fires? Every one of them's got a different name. So we have a inept media. They're ineffective and not telling the truth, not only about the weather but many other things. Okay, now here's the infrared map. This has been frozen, so we'll try to get that going again. You can look at the other map here. This is the infrared for the northeast Pacific, and we can see how effective that blockade of high pressure is. Here's the western U.S. infrared map. Look at everything just bouncing off of this high pressure shield right here. And there's just no rain, as I think I've shown already. There's zero rain. Let's look at the swell report. We can see that the weather out in the Pacific is generating some swells. We know we've got the weather offshore because we've got anywhere from 12 to 18 foot seas in this area here where these lows are located. We've got a couple lows out all up and down the entire East Pacific. We got 17 foot seas here. There's 11 right out here. 18 and 21 foot seas up near Canada and Alaska. But none of this is getting in. So at this point, if there's anyone that's still questioning the fact that we've got weather manipulation going on, which has nothing to do with carbon dioxide, by the way, I keep repeating that, but that's the Al Gore version of climate change is a total fraud. It's a hoax. The mainstream media's version of climate change is also a hoax and a fraud. Cannot be believed. There's no credible evidence to support any of the things that they've brought to the table. And so there's a reason why we have cartoon weather, animated weather on television. There's a reason for that. And there's a reason why this channel's view counts are being suppressed. The view count ratio, that is the views to subscriber ratio, is so low on this channel it's not to be believed. And I've not been mentioning this because the evidence in these videos speaks for itself. And Google and YouTube, Google, they are suppressing the view counts, and also the subscribers the last month have basically been frozen at, I think it was 4,250. We got up to 4,251, and then the count started going backwards, and this was going up and down by about, it would go back up 10 or 15 subscribers and then drop back down by about 10 for the entire month of November. Essentially the entire month we didn't gain any subscribers on this channel in November, while we were getting around 400 to 600 views after a previous month or two of getting an average of 1,200 to 18 or 2,000 views per video. So these are all things that point to the fact that this information, this evidence that we're showing here, somebody doesn't want that to be known to the general public. There's a cover-up going on. They don't want this information out. And so Google is a part of the cover-up. They're colluding to try to minimize the evidence, to marginalize it by freezing the counters, video counts, and the subscriber base count. But the key thing, and I think it was Desert Dweller 55 pointed this out, that the view count ratio, that is the views to subscriber ratio, is so low that it's just a joke. It's not to be believed. And I've seen this, I've been watching this, and that's just what it is. That's what we're dealing with. So in a way, it's validation that what we're presenting here is sensitive because it turns the entire global warming slash climate change narrative upside down and inside out. That's really the bottom line. All right, so we've got no rain and just plenty of weather offshore. This is about as obvious as it'll ever get right here. This is amazing. We've got, 6 or 7 low pressures sitting offshore. Look at this. There's 4 here, right in the East Pacific. These are all gales, and 2 more right here, right behind it. This is a gale force system, and another developing gale right down here. And we've got 18% relative humidity. And the people on TV being paid, Fritz Coleman, Dallas Raines, and all the rest of these jokers on TV, these celebrity wannabes. Not that it means anything to be a celebrity these days. With Hollywood, you got all these dummies in Hollywood that don't know up from down, peddling the mainstream media's version of climate change. They don't even understand what's going on over their heads with these jets spraying chemtrails all over the place. They don't even know what's going on. So being a Hollywood celebrity is nothing really, except the fact that you're being paid tons of money. Of course, people that run Hollywood are behind the same bunch that run our entire media machinery. And so this is why the people in power are allowed to get away with this sort of thing, because we have a completely controlled media machine working in lockstep with corporations, which is fascism, to implement these ridiculous climate change taxes and implement regulations. We've got fires now that are being started. Almost we can bank on it 100%. And the first responders, they don't realize what's going on. They're just doing what they're told. They're doing what they're told, and they're trying to do a good job, but they don't realize that they are a cog in a big scheme here. We've got people starting fires. I don't know if they're coordinating with the weather controllers. That's not fully established yet, but certainly looks that way. Timing of this couldn't be any better. Okay, that's it.